It used to be that the only way to get Microsoft Office was to download executable on your desktop, install it, enter the license key to activate it, and start using it. Now there's a better way. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Vadim Michalenko, and I have MBA and master's degree in computer science. Most of my career, I worked as a consultant, helping companies implement solutions. I learned a lot of technologies throughout my career, but more importantly, I developed a methodology how to learn new skills, which I would like to share with you as part of my videos. I also work as an educator in a community college, helping people to learn technology and find jobs. I started online training for everyone to share the knowledge and help people to reach their goals faster. Please consider subscribing to this channel. Skills that you learn here will be helpful for you now and also in the future.
And now, let's get back to our original question. How can you get free access to all Microsoft Office applications? To do that, all you need to do is navigate to the Office.com and create a free account. You might already have an account available to log in for free, as long as you have Live.com, Hotmail.com, or Outlook.com accounts. Once you log in, you have access to all premium Microsoft applications that you used to pay for. All you need to have is the browser. And Office.com applications work in any modern browser. Now, there is a slight catch here. Not all the capabilities available in the desktop version are available in the Office.com. And the architecture is a little bit different. Let's look into this in more details.
Formerly known as Office Online, Office.com suite of application became a major productivity suite that allows you to enhance your capabilities in the web. It works in every major browser and allows you to access features of Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, and PowerPoint, as well as a lot of other applications from Microsoft. Instead of installing Office applications on your desktop, you can just take advantage of them in the cloud. In combination with OneDrive, Office.com became a major innovation of 21st century, and it allows you to take your personal life and business life completely into the cloud.
Let's start by looking at the differences between Microsoft Office on the desktop and Microsoft Office Online. Let's look at how Office.com is different from the typical Office on the desktop. You see the desktop here on the picture, and Office installed as an application on the desktop. All documents are stored locally on the desktop. The desktop depicted here could be either desktop, laptop, or tablet, and it could run either Windows or Mac OS. When you use Office.com, you need to have a computer that has internet connection. Office is installed in the cloud on the website Office.com, and documents are stored in the OneDrive, which is also in the cloud. You do need internet connection in this setup, but the huge advantage of this is that it's free. Another huge advantage of this setup is that because documents are in the cloud, multiple people can work on those documents at the same time.
And now, let me do a quick walkthrough of the Office.com applications with you, so you feel comfortable using them.
First step, you need to navigate to Office.com and sign in. You can sign in with your existing Microsoft account, or you can create a new account. I am going to sign in with my existing account, and then we will continue. On the front page of Office.com, you see all Office.com applications that are available. Most frequently used applications show right here on the screen. You can also click All Apps icon to see additional application that's not available right away. In addition to typical Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and OneNote, you also see Calendar, Forms, OneDrive, Outlook, People, Power Automate, Skype, Sway, To Do, and some other applications. Typical browser navigation works, so at any time you can go back and you will see the home screen again. When you are not on the home screen, but you need to launch specific application, you can always use App Launcher. It's located in the upper left corner. When you click on the App Launcher, it shows all available applications, and you can also click All App to expand the menu selection. Here on the screen, you can see documents that you worked on recently. You can also see pinned documents, and you can see documents that have been shared with you. You can also upload and open any document from your desktop, and you can navigate to OneDrive account, which comes automatically with Office.com. To create a new document, you can either click Start New button, which shows all available options for new documents, or you can click on the application itself and it will create a blank document, or you can choose document available for this particular application from the template. And now let's look at the Word Online, which is the part of Office.com suite of applications. There are 4 different ways for you to start working on the Word document. You can use one of the recently created documents. You can click Start New and select Word document. You can click on the Word application and it will launch brand new document. You just need to select New Blank Document. Or you can upload and open one of the existing documents from your desktop. For example, I have series of documents on the OneDrive for my practice labs, and I can upload and bring it up right into Word Online. I'm going to navigate back on the Start page and start New Word Online document. By default, Word Online comes with the simplified ribbon. You can expand simplified ribbon, and you will see familiar ribbon that you're used to using traditional desktop-based Microsoft Word. Let's do a quick overview of Microsoft Word user interface. Right now we are in the Home tab, but we can navigate to File tab, or we can navigate to the Insert tab, Layout, References, Review, View, and Help tabs. Most of the important commands located in the Home tab, and 80% of the time you will spend working on the Home tab. Icons on the tab are organized into groups. For example, you have a clipboard group that have cut, copy, and paste commands, as well as the Format Painter command. You have Font group, you have a Paragraph group, you have Styles group, Editing, Dictation, and Editor. Each tab on the ribbon has its own set of groups. Just like in the regular Word document, you can just go ahead and start typing your text. Once you have entered your text, you can change the formatting of the text. For example, you can apply different styles, like Heading 1 style. To do that, you just need to select the section for which you're trying to apply the style and click on the Style button. You can also change font. You can change font appearance, for example, make it bold, italic, or underlined, or combination of bold, italic, and underlined. And you can access any command for the selected text on the ribbon itself, or by doing right mouse click, and you have access to commands that might be applicable to your selection. You have full access to clipboard commands. For example, you can select the text, click Copy, and then paste the same text in a different area of the document. To make Cut, Copy, and Paste work from the ribbon, you need to install Office Copy and Paste extensions. I'm going to choose Install. And once installation is complete, I can just click the Paste button and it will work in a similar way. Access to keyboard shortcuts Ctrl-X, Ctrl-C, and Ctrl-V is available without doing any additional installations. To access to the header of the document, you need to navigate to upper right corner of the page and click on the header. In the header, you can type the date and the name of your document. To finish working on the header, you need to click on any area outside of the header. To access the footer, you need to click at the bottom right corner of the document. In the footer, you typically might want to insert the page number, the date, or any other information that you need. To insert page number, you need to navigate to Insert tab and select Page Number and select the location for the page number. And it will insert the number of the page right in the area where you want it. To stop working on the footer of the document, you need to click on any area outside of the footer. To insert the table, you need to navigate to Insert tab, select Insert Table, and select the area for the table that you're trying to insert. Then you need to navigate to the specific cell and just start typing. Once you have inserted all the values into the table and selected the table, you see that there are 2 new ribbon tabs that showed up, Table Design and Table Layout. These are table-specific functions that only available when you have tables selected. For example, in Table Design, you can select different styles for your table. And you can switch between the styles without affecting the content of the table itself. In Table Layout tab, you have Select functions, Table Delete functions, Table Insert, Merge, and Align functions. You can also insert images in Microsoft Word Online. To insert the image, you need to put the cursor where you would like image to be inserted, click on the Insert tab, and if you click Picture, it will let you download picture from your computer, or if you click Online Pictures, you'll be able to search and find picture on the search engine. For example, we can picture of the airplane and insert it right into the Word Online document. When picture is inserted and selected, you have access to Picture ribbon. On the Picture ribbon, you can enter all text, you can pick different picture styles, you can rotate the image, crop it, and change image size as necessary. As we added more information into the document, you see that the document became a two-page document, and some information shifted on the page 2. You can control when page 2 starts by inserting a page break. To insert a page break, you need to navigate to Insert tab and select Page Break. And that inserts page break, and this is where the second page starts. By using page break, you have full control of where one page ends and another page starts. To give document a name, you need to click on the document title in the upper part of the screen. By default, Word Online saves all of your documents onto OneDrive. You do not need to specifically click the Save button or Save menu item to save your document. All changes are saved automatically. But you can save document as by choosing Save As option and choosing different formats and different options available. To print your document, you need to click File and then Print, and it will bring up the Print dialog box from your browser. From here, you have different options of how you would like to print your document. You can print it into PDF, or you can choose one of the available printers to print it. You can also share your document with other people or embed this document into your blog post or website. And if you choose Save As option, you can download a copy of the document right onto your desktop and continue editing on the desktop version of Microsoft Word.
A lot of students ask me, what are the smartest ways to learn? Let's look at the different options available to you.
Let me share with you some ways to learn new material that work for me. I typically use dedicated, uninterrupted chunks of time to read and practice new material. When my attention drifts, I try to take a break, and I typically do it every 25 to 30 minutes. I recommend that you download workbooks to practice the hands-on steps, which helps you reinforce the steps and better learn the material. When I try to learn something, I try to watch videos from start to finish in one sitting. I use different playback speed to make sure the material keeps me engaged. I also try to give myself time to absorb the content. And if something is not clear, I try to pause the video, and sometimes I even go back to review material more than once.
Excel for the web interface is very similar to traditional desktop interface, and you have a lot of options to customize it for your needs.
There are multiple ways how you can create new Excel Online document. The easiest way is to click on the Start New and then select Spreadsheet. Another way to do it would be click on Excel application, and this will launch new instance of Excel and you'll be able to create the new worksheet. Here you can select different templates. You can click More Templates to see a lot of available choices. Templates allow you to start with pre-built design and functionality instead of building it from scratch in Office Online. For example, you can use template for simple invoice, Gantt project chart, make a list, schedule, personal inventory, family budget, and there are a lot of other options. If you click Explore All Templates, it will show you all available options. But I'm going to go back and continue with the blank workbook. I'm going to click Back button in my browser and go back to the Start screen and use the first method. I'm going to click Start New, and we'll create a new spreadsheet. As you can see, Excel Online looks very similar to traditional Excel application on the desktop. By default, it launches with Simplified ribbon. To switch to traditional ribbon, you just need to click this toggle, and it switches to traditional ribbon. I am going to continue with traditional ribbon because that's the ribbon I used to, but we will cover also a simplified ribbon as well, just so you will have an idea of what type of commands you can expect from simplified ribbon. Excel Online consists of multiple tabs. For example, most of the commands are located on the Home tab, and this is where you will spend probably 80% of your time. But there are a lot of other tabs like Insert, Formulas, Data, and you can switch between the tabs by clicking on the tab bar. Each icon in the ribbon represents specific command in Excel Online. And these commands are grouped into groups. So for example, there is a font group, alignment group, number group, tables, cells, and editing. In the bottom right corner, you see zooming functions. If you click plus button, you can zoom in. If you click minus button, then you will zoom out. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see cells a little bit closer before we start typing. But last thing before we start typing, I wanted to show you in the bottom left corner, you can check the workbook statistics. If you click on the workbook statistics, you see information about the current worksheet.
You can either use mouse or keyboard to do data entry in Excel Online application. Let's take a look at all the options available to you to work faster in Excel Online.
Let's look at some fundamental Excel Online concepts. You have concept of columns. We have columns A, B, C, D, and you can select them by clicking on the header, and it goes until the end of English alphabet, and then it starts A, B, and it goes into infinity. Then you have concept of rows, and rows represented by numbers. And on the intersection of each column and row, you have a cell. And the cell ID is located right here in the name box. So for example, this is cell B4 because it's located on the intersection of column B and row 4. We also have a concept of range, and range is a group of cells. For example, we can select some cells, and the range would be from the starting cell in the upper left corner into the lower right corner cell. So in this particular case, the range identification would be B2 through C7. That would be our range. We also have a concept of workbook and worksheets. Workbook is Excel Online document. So book that is named right now is the name of the workbook, and we can rename it by clicking here and typing. I typed Excel Online tutorial. There's no need to click Save button because Office Online and any application in Office.com and Office Online saves data automatically onto OneDrive. So at every point of time, at any moment of time, your data is saved and protected. Now, we covered the concept of workbook. There's a concept of worksheet, and there are multiple worksheets in one workbook. By default, only one worksheet is created, which is called Sheet 1. You can click on it and rename it, or you can add more worksheets. If you click the plus button here in the bottom left corner, it keeps adding more and more worksheets. I'm going to go back to worksheet 1 so we can start data entry. To start entering the data in Excel Online, you can just select the cell and start typing. For example, I would like to create a table and enter business expenses. I just need to start typing, and I'll type expenses. To navigate between the columns, you can press Tab, and it will take you from column A to column B, and you can start typing. For example, I'll type January. If you would like to go back, you just need to press Shift Tab. You can always use the mouse to put the cursor into the correct cell, but using the keyboard is much faster, and if you learn how to use keyboard, you will be much more productive in Excel Online. So we covered how to go from column to column, and this is by using Tab and Shift Tab. In order for us to go to a different row, you just hit Enter, and then it took us to the cell A2, and this is where I'm going to enter the type of expenses. In my case, I'm going to have lease is one of the expenses. I'm going to hit Enter again, and I'm going to type utilities. And as you might have figured out by now, if I'd like to go down, I would need to type Enter. But if I would like to go up, I would just need to hit Shift Enter. I have manually typed in all my data, and this is how it looks. We have rows representing the types of expenses, and we have office supplies, lease, utilities, phone, computer, and internet. And then I have months from January to June, and each month, on the intersection of months and expenses, we have a number which represents expenses for that particular month.
If you like the content, please give this video a big thumbs up. This tells us that you need more content like this, and we'll make sure that you get it in the future.
Now let's continue and get you ready for the assessment test. Let's zoom in the data using zoom functions that we covered, so we can see it up close and we can see it full screen, and then we'll focus on the formatting of the table. There are multiple different things you can do to make this data look professional. For example, you can select the range of the data, and you can add borders to the data. The most typical borders would be all borders, which will have borders for the data on all sides of the cell. You might also notice that the month and the dollar amounts are misaligned. Months data is aligned to the left versus dollar data is aligned to the right. To change this, you need to select all these columns from B through G, and then what you can do, you can change the alignment for all the selected data. For example, this is how centered alignment will look like. If you want to try alignment on the left, I don't think it looks professional. So I think centered alignment would be the best for this type of data. You might also consider highlighting the first row, which is the header row. To do that, we need to select the range between cells A1 and G1, and then we can add a background color, for example, some light color, which would look nice on the black and white printout, and you can also make the font here bold. Since Excel Online is designed as a tool for data analysis, you can quickly sort and filter the data. To do that, you need to select the first row, and then click Sort and Filter, and click Filter. You see what happened? Excel just added the drop-downs, and now you have a lot of sorting and filtering options. For example, if you would like to organize expenses and make expense types in alphabetical orders, all you need to do is to select the drop-down box here and select Sort Ascending. And you see that it organized the expenses and put the types of expenses in alphabetical order, from letter C to letter U. A lot of times, you might consider showing the totals when you're looking at the data. For example, you would like to know how much money was spent in expenses in the month of January. To do that, you need to put a cursor into the cell B8, and then there is an AutoSum formula that you can use. You just click on the AutoSum, and Excel auto-guesses or provides auto-suggestion, and it automatically inserts the formula, which is the sum of all the values in the range B2 through B7. And you see this is how Excel represents the ranges. To refresh your memory, the range is the set of values which starts with the top cell, which in our case is B2, and goes from B2 to the cell B7. If you hit Enter, it shows you the total for the month of January, which represents an amount of $2,180.08. Now you can do the same thing for each and every month. For example, for months of February, you can navigate to the cell C8 and repeat the steps of what I just did previously through AutoSum. Or you can replicate the formula for all the columns which represent the months. To do that, you just need to find this box at the bottom right corner of the cell B8, and then you just need to drag it, and Excel replicated the formula and recalculated the values for the months from January through June. All you need to do now is just to type total here in this column, and you probably might want to choose the right alignment here so it is more aligned to the total numbers. In a similar way to calculating totals for the columns, you can also calculate totals for the rows. For example, you might want to know how much of the computer expenses company had between the months of January and June. To recalculate this, you need to put the cursor into the cell H2. Let's enter formula differently. We will just type it manually. To do that, we need to type the equal sign, and then we can type the sum formula, and you see what Excel Online does automatically. It shows you all available formulas that match the criteria of sum, but as soon as I enter the parentheses to start typing values, I can either drag the cursor here, which will enter the range here, and our range will be from B2 through G2, and I just need to close the parentheses and hit enter, and Excel will calculate the value. If you see pound signs in a cell, it doesn't represent the error, it just means that the value is too big for Excel to show. To fix it, you can either manually expand the column, or you can just double click on this area in between two columns. In my case, it's between columns H and I, and Excel will automatically adjust the width of the column. I showed you a way to replicate the formula through this extension box. Another way to replicate the formula would be through the use of copy and paste functions. To do that, you just need to use Control-C on the keyboard. I just typed Control-C. Another way to do it would be click Copy right here on the ribbon, and then you can just select a new range, and then you can just click Paste here on the ribbon, and Excel will recalculate, because it inserted this formula, and it will recalculate all the values for different expense categories in column H. The only other thing we would need to add is the title for this column. So we can just type total, And similar to the way how we formatted other columns, we can format column H. We just need to select the column and click Center Formatting. To print Excel Online document, you need to click File and then Print. And when you click Print button, it allows you to select from multiple different options. You can print active sheet, you can print entire workbook, or you can just print the current selection. And you can choose from different page orientation options for portrait and landscape. I'm going to choose active sheet. I'm going to choose landscape option, and I'm going to click continue. And what Excel will let me do, it will let me print right from the browser, and I can print into the PDF file. And once data is printed, I'll be able to use it in my PDF file.
Can I ask you to do me a favor? If you know someone who will benefit from this material and looking for the job, please share this content with them. I really appreciate it.
And now let's look at the PowerPoint on the web, which is also part of the Office.com suite. You have multiple ways to launch PowerPoint online application. You can click on the Start New and select Presentation, or you can just click on the PowerPoint application in the Start menu of Office.com. When you go through the application, you see a lot of templates available to you. Most of them are available for free, but there are some premium ones that Microsoft offers you. If you're not satisfied with the list presented on the screen, you can click More Themes and you will have a lot of additional choices. I'm going to go back and select New Blank Presentation. Let's start by looking at PowerPoint user interface. By default, you get Simplified ribbon. You can switch to the Classic ribbon by using this radio button. Classic ribbon closer mimics the traditional desktop-based PowerPoint application, but Simplified ribbon takes less space, so you would have to choose for yourself which one would you like more. The way data is organized in PowerPoint is that you have multiple tabs on the ribbon, and you can switch between the tabs by just single mouse click. Most of the commands that you need located on the Home tab. Just like in traditional PowerPoint, in the bottom right corner, there is a handful of very useful controls. You can add notes to your slide, you can switch between editing mode and presenter view, or you can change zoom on your slides. Let's look at some main PowerPoint online concepts. You have a concept of slide, and this is what you see right here in this rectangle. We also have a concept of thumbnail, which is just a smaller version of the slide. You can add a new slide right here in the Home ribbon by clicking the New Slide button, and you're presented with multiple different choices. There's a title slide, title and content section header, to content comparison title only, blank, content with caption, picture with caption. I already have a title slide on this page, so I'm just going to click on the blank slide and add a blank slide. Now you see I have two thumbnails, and each one of them represents different slide. As I click on the thumbnail, I can toggle and switch between two different slides. Let's add a title to our presentation. You just need to click on the title section and type in the title. I took advantage of both sections and added title and subtitle here, but it looks kind of plain, so let's see how we can enhance it. There's nothing works better than adding the image to PowerPoint slide. So let's consider adding PowerPoint logo, and let's just locate it in the right place. I copied and pasted logo from the image editor, but you can also insert a picture right from file on your hard drive, or you can use stock images or Bing pictures from online. Once you have image on the screen, you can move it around to find the right place to make the data more presentable. Or you can choose different design themes to help enhance your presentation. You can navigate to Design tab and switch between different themes to see how well they will look with what you're trying to present. Let me share with you one cool trick here. As I was switching between the themes, I realized that my PowerPoint logo has a white background and it doesn't look good on the different templates within PowerPoint. So what I need an image of PowerPoint logo with transparent background. I created this image in the image editor, and the only thing I need to do right now is to upload it into the PowerPoint Online. To do that, I'm going to navigate to the Insert tab, click Pictures, find Pictures from this device, and choose the file to upload. Now you can look at both of these logos side by side. It is the same logo, but the logo on the left has a transparent background versus logo on the right, which has white background. Now I can remove logo on the right because logo on the left provides me more flexibility. To delete something, I just need to select the image and click the Delete button. As you can see, this image looks much more professional. I can resize it and have it in any corners because I can move it around the slide. And because it has transparent background, and this image will work just fine with any theme. Let's say that I like this theme. Now, as you selected the theme, you can select a different color variants here, and you can switch between the variants right here in the Design tab. Let me go back and select this particular variant, and I'm going to move my logo into the bottom right corner. Now let's go back and work on another slide. I'm going to click on the Home tab, and now I realized that probably this is not the right slide for me, as I would like to have a title and I would like to have a content in the slide. To delete the slide, you right-click on the thumbnail and click the Delete Slide button. Let's go ahead and insert a new slide. I clicked on the new slide, and you see that the new slide, they follow the template that we've selected. And the best slide for me would be title and content. Let's first give this slide a title. And the title will be, What is PowerPoint Online? Let's suppose that I need to do a research and find out what is PowerPoint Online. So I did my research, and this is the text that I would like to add to my slide. I typed the text in a text editor and copy and pasted it right into the PowerPoint. And PowerPoint Online is the version of traditional PowerPoint desktop application, which allows you to create a slideshow of important information, charts and images to display during a presentation. It is very frequently used for business and school presentations. Some people would like to just put text on the slide and read it during the presentation, and this is fine too. I would like to enhance it and take it to the next level. So I'm going to copy this text and put it into Notes section. And then I'm going to modify it to only show the bullets here on the screen and have the text here handy. This way, people will just see the bullets, which would be the shorter version of this definition. And then I will be able to read this text right when I'm presenting. Now you can see that I modified the text and only have 3 bullets here on the screen. Simplified version of traditional PowerPoint desktop. So what is PowerPoint Online? The viewers will be able to read the 3 bullets. Simplified version of traditional PowerPoint desktop, has limited capabilities, frequently used for business and school presentations. And I will be able to enhance the presentation by reading the text from the notes. And I'm going to say PowerPoint Online is the simplified version of PowerPoint desktop application, which allows you to create a slideshow of important information, charts and images to display during the presentation. It is very frequently used for business and school presentations. So this is another tip of how you can enhance and make your PowerPoint presentation professional. You do not put everything you're going to say right on the slide. You put short version of the information on the slide and have a text for yourself to read if you're not comfortable to presenting and just talking in your own words. Because there is less text right now on the screen, people will be able to easily read it, and I will be able to enhance the presentation and say something that is not shown on the slide itself. Because I have less text on the screen right now, I can also increase the size of the text to make it better visible. I am going to select this section and click Increase Font Size. I can also add PowerPoint logo. I already have it in the slide 1. All I need to do is just select it, click Copy, and then paste it in the new slide. I am probably going to consider reducing the size of the logo so it doesn't overlap with the text. Let's talk a little bit about saving and printing your presentation. By default, the presentation gets a default name, which is just the presentation. You can rename it by clicking here and putting a new title. Your presentation is automatically saved into OneDrive, so you don't need to worry here to click in the Save button. If you go to the File tab, you will be able to download your application, share it with somebody, or print it. When you print it, you can print it as PDF, or you can send it right to the printer. Because this is in the browser, you have limited capabilities of printing. So I would recommend you print to the PDF first and then send PDF to the printer.
Please consider subscribing to this channel. Skills that you learn here will be helpful for you now and also in the future. You also get opportunity to help other people by answering their questions and helping them solve their challenges. If you like the content, please give this video a big thumbs up. This tells us that you need more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.